Okay, so in philosophy, we talk a lot about religion and different religions and what you believe and why you believe it and all this stuff. And we were raised Christian. Uh, then I thought I was just like an atheist because I didn't believe in God. Now, ever since getting into my class, I realize I'm more agnostic. Like I don't know if there is a God or there's not a God, but there's a lot of questions and uh, you know uh, people like something since the beginning have been asking questions about God, and I'm learning about a Pascal's wager. And let me show you what this looks like. Right? I don't know. Hopefully, it's not backwards in the camera, but it's like, okay. So it says, if God exists and you do believe, it is infinitely good. If God exists and you do not believe, it is infinitely bad. And if God does not exist and you do believe or you don't believe, it really doesn't matter, And like I understand that. It's like if there is a God and you believe and you get to heaven, then for all of eternity you are going to be happy. You're in heaven and everything works out. If you don't believe in God but you're a good person, um, well, then you still go to hell if he exists, and you live your eternity in hell just because you didn't believe in him, even though you were a good person. Or like if you did bad things and then you become a Christian or like whatever else, then you get to heaven. Like it doesn't matter what you did, because in the end you change, And we just learn about like most of us are Christians because we live in America, at this time. But there's hundreds of religions, most of which have died out over the years. And now there's just a bunch of big ones, and like who's right and why they're right, and like how do you know you're right? And what if you live in a place? Okay, so like what if Christianity is right, but you live in a place where you've never learned about it? Like what does that do to you? Like, do you go to hell? Do you go to heaven? Does nothing happen? Like what? Uh, and so used to be like, well, like there's too like there's too much evil going on in the world. There's no God, because if there was, he would come and he would stop all the evil. Which there's a lot, like everywhere on the planet, like since the beginning of time, there's been evil people, evil things, wars and disease and rape, murder, child like molestation, all this stuff has been going on forever. And if there was a God who could just snap his fingers and stop it, like why doesn't he? We don't know. But it's like if you do believe in God, then you can be a better person, which is good for everybody. If everyone is a better person because that they believe in God, then we all benefit whether he exists or not, or whether you go to heaven or not. If everyone is a better person because of it, then hey, like all the better for everyone to believe, right? And so now I tend to think of myself more agnostic, which it's just like I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. I can't prove it, and like you can't prove it, so we can argue back and forth. But no one's ever gonna really know until you pass away, right? And it's just really interesting to me that like we have all these different like religions, and people hate each other for what they believe in, and it's like how can you know who's right? And like I think that people who are Christian that I know in America are good people for the most part, and I think religion is great for when like a person passes away. You have that kind of closure or positiveness after they pass. Like, hey, well they're in heaven now, so it's gonna be okay. Don't worry, they're happy now. Like all this stuff. And for parents and kids, brothers or sisters, whatever it is, um, I think that's a great way, to be okay with it. it's just like, and just be like, hey, well, they're in a better place, that they're in heaven, and you're gonna see them again. And I think that for people to have that is a great thing, right? But it's like, if you do or you don't believe, I don't think it's a conscious choice. Like, you can't just wake up and say, oh, well, I'm going to believe in God. Like, either you do or you don't. And you have your reasons in your life that kind of point you in these directions, whether it's your parents raising you one way, or whether you witness an event and it changes your mind, or if you have a rough life and you change your mind along the way. It's like, you can't just make yourself, believe in God. Things have to happen, and you have to be told something, or taught like a way for your beliefs to go in that direction. So it's like, if you lived in a time where you've never heard about Christianity, and you couldn't become a Christian, and you had no chance to become one, then, like, what happens to you? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Or what if one's right and someone else is wrong? Like, what happens? Everyone just goes to hell who's on the wrong side, even though they didn't have a chance to learn about the good one. And it's like, what if you're a great person, but you just don't believe because bad stuff has happened to you? Or you were born with like a disability, or like your life has been tough, and you're like, no, like, there's no God. Or you can look around the world, and there's all this evilness, and you're like, hey, well, there's no God. So either there is a God who can change everything and make it better, and he doesn't. Well, that probably means he's not all good, because he allows all these bad things to happen, right? Or there was a God who made the earth and the universe, like whatever, and he just let it do its thing, and he does not intervene, and he watches, and it's up to you to make your choices, like, just on what you witness here on earth, which isn't really fair, because it's like, why do you need to believe other humans about God when like, he isn't here, But it's tough. It's a tough thing. But it's so interesting, because it's like, all these people have all these different ideas and beliefs, and we all kind of coexist. Well, we try to coexist with each other, and I don't know. It's like, it's hard, because like, it is a big decision. It's like, uh, what if you don't believe in him, but you have your reasons, but he does exist, and then, like, you get to heaven, and he's like, well, I'm here, and you're like, well, why did you let all this fucking bad stuff happen to me and millions of other people? And what if you believe in God, and you live your life for God, and he doesn't exist? Did you waste your life, or did you not, because you still probably lived a pretty good life, doing good things for other people, and a great person? Is that still a win? Probably, yeah. I think so. But no, I just, for me, I really don't believe, but there could be one. I have no idea. Some people, uh, uh, like, just know, like, in their hearts, and have that kind of, like, they just know, where they have that thing, right? Where it's just like, hey, I know he's there. I know he's there. Like, blah blah, and that's great. But but some people just don't have that. So I don't think it's like a choice. Like, I can't. I said, it's like it's it's like, if I don't believe, I can't just wake up and say, okay, well, I believe. Like, something has to happen to you for you to change your mind, because it's such a huge choice. It's a big thing. It kind of dictates where the rest of your life goes. And some people have it, some people don't, and I don't know why. I would love to know why, just like everybody else would, But I do love reading about it. I do love knowing, like, what all these different beliefs are, and like, why people believe what they believe. Because I have no idea. So even though I used to be like, like, I don't believe, but now I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, but it's exciting. It's like, what if there is? What if there's not? Like who's right? Who's got the right information passed down No one knows. So I don't know, it's just kind of crazy, but it's a big choice for everyone to deal with and make and think about, and lives are lived on their beliefs. But yeah, so I was just here reading all my, like, if you can look down, I have papers just like all around on my bed, on my desk, like everywhere, like lined up. So I've been trying to read all of them for my test tomorrow, but you know, I don't know. I don't know what to think. That's kind of what makes it exciting. It's like, is there a God? Is there not a God? Why do some people know there's a God? Why do some people don't think there's a God? And who's right? And maybe one day, in the end, we all will know, and maybe we won't. You know, I don't know. I don't know, but it's interesting, and I just have all this stuff to say about it. Just like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I would love to speak to people, like, who do and don't believe, and know why. I want to know why they believe this, and it's just like, if you were born in America in like a middle class uh, family, and you don't have any disabilities, like, you probably have a pretty great life, compared to like 90% of the earth and all the people on it in the past, however many years that you freaking think that the earth has been here. A 5 billion, or if I can, like, or, I can, or like, a few thousand. We have it good. If you're born in America, you're middle class or above, and you don't have anything wrong with you, you are lucky, and you should acknowledge that you're lucky, and you have so much opportunity to go and do all kinds of stuff that most people don't get to do and have never gotten to do. But I don't know, like, philosophy. It's a bunch of questions, and like, we might never know, and it's just cool. It's cool. I don't know. I really dig it. It's just, I don't know. Is there God? I have no idea. What are your thoughts on it? Please let me know.